Have you ever owned an AR-15, but you wanted to get into AKs, but you don't want to lose that speed of the sweet manual of arms of an AR-15, but you still wanted that sweet AK lock and lock magazine action? Well, now's your chance with the new limited edition Galil Ace Gen 1 13-inch rock and lock 5.56. You get the best of both worlds. So the Galil Ace will come with a plastic magazine well that can be removed. If you order through Dissident Arms, they'll go ahead and remove it for you for an additional $100 or so, but it definitely makes it worth it. I feel like the Galil just has to have that all steel look for it to be truly who it is. So this Galil Ace I've done a video on before. However, it's been almost a year now and I've made quite a few changes to it. Starting off, I've got an Aero Precision LAHAR 30 suppressor here. It's a 30 caliber suppressor. I filed as a trust through Silencer Shop, and that was my biggest mistake, was going as a trust. If you've been on the internet lately, you know that if you file as an individual, it can be as short as 30-hour approval times. I actually have a Resilient Arms RS9 suppressor that I filed for as an individual, and it came back approved within 2 days. So if you're gonna get into suppressors now's the time. Just do it as an individual, and you can go ahead and switch it to a trust later if that's something that you wanna do. But the Galil Ace itself, this is a limited edition Galil Ace. I say limited edition loosely. It's kind of clickbait because originally this was gonna be a limited edition Galil. However, I think that they were selling so well that they started making more and more batches. It started off with a batch of 500. As soon as it released, I was on there the very first day and placed my order for this thing. You can get the Rock and Lock edition in like an 8.5 inch 5.56 Galil Ace. That was all that they had available originally. And so I was just waiting around until they had something that was between 8 inches and 16 inches. So when this thing released, like I said, I was on there day one with my order placed. So if you want to get this Galil Ace, just go on to Dissident Arms, see if they have any in stock, and they've got a plethora of options that you can do, like changing the pistol grip, removing the plastic, which I think you should do. If you keep the plastic on there, you're going to want to change it later because it just looks so much better with just the steel. When you're on Dissident's website, you can order these RS Regulate rails. If you're going to get the 13-inch, you're going to want the RS Regulate GAR 10M-N. They do make one that's shorter that fits about the length of the original handguard of this thing, but this is the one you want to get. It's 10 inches and it fits perfectly. On my last video on this gun, I did have a Trigicon MRO on it, which I thought was good at the time. However, when I took it off and put it back on and went back to zero it, I started to have parallax. But as you move your head, if you don't have the exact same point of aim as far as your positioning on your cheek or your nose, charging handle kind of thing, your dot's gonna move around a little bit on you, and that can lead to some zeroing options. Like I said, when I went back out that day after putting it back on and tried to zero it, I went through like 4 or 5 magazines just trying to chase my dot around. With that being said, I went ahead and dished out the extra money for an EOTech. They're combat proven, battle proven, and everybody knows that they work well. So this Galil, I have an EOTech EXPS2 -0, I believe, so it doesn't have the extra dot on there. It does have the quick detach mount that comes with it, which I think is a huge plus. In case you want to take it off for cleaning the weapon or changing some parts out or whatever, then you can go ahead and slap it right back on there onto the same groove and it should hold zero. I wanted to get a EOTech G33 to go behind this as a magnifier. However, it just didn't make sense to spend another $300 or $400 on a magnifier when Holosun makes this one. I'll have to look up the exact nomenclature, but this one fits exactly perfect here and it does the exact same job. I know a lot of people are wishy-washy about Holosun because they're a Chinese company, but mine's worked well so far and I'm going to keep it up until it proves itself otherwise. For pistol grip, we've got the K&S pistol grip here. It's supposed to look like an original Galil grip. It comes in 4 different options, one with a little beaver tail here, one that you see here, and then both of those options with a textured grip. I don't think it's worth getting the textured grip. It has like a very light grip tape type of feeling to it. I've had sweaty hands with it, never had any problems with slipping or anything like that. And I think with the beaver tail too, it just throws off the look of the gun in such a huge way. That's just my opinion, but I think this is the one that you want to get. And then finally here on the rear, we've got a CNC Warrior stock that's made specifically for these. It gives it that classic Galil look. In my opinion, this is the most aesthetically pleasing I can get this gun, aside from switching this out to an EOTech G33. Other than that, this thing rocks. So that's enough talking about the gun. Let's shoot it and see how it does. This is my first time shooting the LAHAR 30. It does have a direct thread attachment that's 1.5 by 28 that slips right onto the Galil. You can take this end cap off here. I don't think it's not the end cap, but the base plate here, and that will give you the option to run it with other hub compatible adapters and muzzle devices. I haven't actually verified that this thing is straight, so we might get a baffle strike, but due to laziness, I'm willing to take that risk. And I'm also pretty confident in it, knowing it's a direct thread. So let's see how it does. Before we get into the next part of this video, I want to take an opportunity to thank the sponsors. And I don't have any sponsors. I'm not shilling out to some company, AAC, Primary Arms, or any of those, Sonoran Desert Institute. My sponsors are you guys, the viewers. I'm not big enough now, so if you can please hit the like button, please subscribe if you're not already. According to my analytics, only about 8% of my viewers are subscribed. So please take the 10 seconds that it'll take you to go down, click the subscribe button, and you'll be able to see videos just like this, and you'll be helping me out a ton. Thank you guys so much. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a couple shots here at this still target down there. It's about 75 to 80 meters. My rifle should be zeroed. With that EOTech, I've got the magnifier. However, I don't know if the suppressor is going to throw it off, but I'm excited to shoot this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take some shots off now, and let's see how it does. All right. I think it's pretty zeroed. Man, this thing is so sweet. All right, I do have an ALG trigger in this bad boy. I think it's close to 3 pounds. So I'm gonna try to bump fire a little bit and see what we can get. Man, that thing gets hot, boy, right there. If you've ever shot AKs, you know these things get hot right by the handrail. So yeah, if you're gonna be bump firing it, it might be a good idea to have a glove. And I actually have a glove. I'm gonna grab it. It's a golf glove, but it'll work. Guys, if you've been watching up until this point, you've just unlocked an achievement called Best Bud. And if you've subscribed, you're extra Best Bud. So I'm gonna send it for you. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I know it wasn't a long video today, but that's about all I have time for. I'm an idiot and I forgot my spare magazine, so I didn't do a lot of reload drills for you. But hopefully this got you a good look at the gun itself and the progress I've made as far as changing accessories. I'm also happy to brag that with this Galil Ace, I've ran Lake City ammo, IMI, Steel Monarch, AAC, soft points. I've never had a single malfunction through this gun, and I actually have never cleaned it. I've only lubed it with some ATF, the good ATF, automatic transmission fluid. And yeah, if you're really thinking about getting this gun, now's the time to do it. I promise you won't regret it. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Y'all have a good day and be blessed. See you later.